I've just passed the American Boat and Yacht Council's Marine Standards Certification. In this video, I'm going to provide a quick history of ABYC, what the Standards Certification is all about, how to go about pursuing the certification, and a bit about my experience while embarking on this journey. Stay to the end to hear 3 study secrets on passing the exam. Having gone through this process as a sailboat owner and a cruising sailor, I think this is a very worthwhile certification to attain. Maintaining appropriate knowledge and skills to understand and fix most systems that support sustained operations on a sailboat, from my standpoint, it's a must. Most sailors that have inspired my journey are off-grid, self-sufficient cruisers that work through and address problems on a boat as they arise. They design their own upgrades and do their own work. Understanding the fundamental standards driving boat design and system installation is of great advantage, I think. Founded in 1954, the American Boat and Yacht Council is a nonprofit that was created to propagate voluntary safety standards for recreational boats. This addressed the inconsistent post-World War II quality of boat production and repair. The impact of this organization has had a direct effect in reducing maritime accidents and fatalities through education and consensus-based standards in the boating industry. The ABYC organization was the first internationally recognized organization to publish standards specifically for recreational boats. Other organizations, such as the International Standards Organization, followed suit soon thereafter. The International Maritime Organization, which provides standards and practices for international commercial shipping, did not come about until 1958, well after ABYC was formed. ABYC standards have evolved into the basis of determining liability and culpability from the standpoint of U.S. maritime law and insurance. U.S. Marine surveyors are generally expected to hold an ABYC Standards certification and leverage the ABYC standards to provide valuation determinations for insurance coverage and claims. In addition, these professionals are often engaged at the discretion of a buyer to provide an impartial inspection of vessels prior to a transfer of ownership transaction. Boatyard professionals seek technical ABYC certifications to both improve their general quality of service and to better market their value proposition to prospective customers. The standards are developed and revised by over 400 volunteer marine professionals from within the industry to include the U.S. Coast Guard, boat builders, boat designers, industry associations, component or engine manufacturers, and boat repair facilities. ABYC collaborates with safety organizations worldwide, such as the International Standards Organization or Transport Canada, to vet its standards that it propagates. The standard certification is considered the entry-level certification offered by ABYC and focuses on those systems on a boat that hold increased potential to cause an accident or death if not complied with. Systems such as gas engines, ventilation systems, propane systems, steering systems, electrical systems, and so on. There's a large amount of focus on both electrical systems, fuel systems, exhaust and ventilation systems, and fire extinguishing systems. The idea here is to understand the basic expectations around making systems safe when it comes to manufacturer standards, installations, and repairs on a boat. Despite the emphasis on those systems which can potentially incur injury or death if misunderstood, there is a large amount of information pertinent to a general sailor conducting DIY repairs. Understanding that electrical wires should be supported by a clamp or staple at least every 18 inches of a run, or to limit the number of terminal connections to 4 or less, is pertinent information relative to basic work done on a boat's electrical system. It's probably worth mentioning that the standards are written in a way that presupposes understanding of maritime trades terminology. The certification study guide generally does not provide context on how these boat system components work or why they even exist. As an example, if you don't already understand what a check valve is, or that a conduit is most often embodied by an insulated electrical wire, then you will find some initial difficulty in conducting a self-study for this exam. The good news is that ABYC provides online courses, either with scheduled live sessions or completely web-based, to help a prospective certification seeker through the information required to pass the examination. The Standards Certification exam is an open book exam, but though this might seem encouraging to a prospective test taker, the multiple choice questions are significantly detailed enough to require an effort to review the material prior to attempting to take the exam. Sample questions are provided by ABYC on their website so that one can gauge for themselves the type of question they might face on the exam. This would empower you to find out for yourself how much preparation you might require given the difficulty those questions might be for you. My certification journey has involved studying for the exam the hard way. As a former enlisted U.S. Marine service member who worked his way into the officer ranks, I've always appreciated putting in extra work to meet the standards of expectation. I just passed with a 94.6%, but spent an earnest 3 months studying the materials for that exam. I always enjoy reading, and I retain a lot more through just reading study materials. There are many out there that prefer interaction with an instructor or just prefer to attend training presentations, but give me the base materials, which often involve dryly written content. And I love to just chip away at that and make sense of it, albeit at a much slower pace than what might be otherwise attained. Here are some essential secrets to successfully passing the certification, especially for those that have not invested in the online or live courses available through ABYC. First, understand how the content is organized. You are not expected to memorize standards, but to find pertinent information in the open book exam on exam day, you will need to understand how the information is organized so that you can refer to pertinent material quickly when required. Secondly, understand the higher level context of the standards. For example, the standards cover how and where to install a galvanic isolator in an alternating current system, but they don't discuss why the device should be installed, what the repercussions are if not installed, nor how it works. You stand a better chance of passing the exam if you seek out additional contextual information beyond what is covered in the approved study guide. Note that I've recently published a video on the galvanic isolator in case you might be interested in that. Thirdly, when information about particular standards are repeated in multiple places of the study guide, pay particular attention, as it is more likely that such information will be covered in the exam by a test question. I want to thank my subscribers. I really appreciate your support. If you've stayed until the end, I'd really appreciate it if you'd press that like button. That helps the channel grow. This is Sailor Eric. Thanks for watching.